Live from our Milwaukee studios with stories that matter to you, this is Fox 6 News.
Our big story at 10 o'clock, a major development in the murder of a pregnant mother of 7, and it's sparking both relief and anger tonight. Police have made 3 arrests, and the suspects are young only, in their teens. Fox 6's Jenna Sachs live in the newsroom with a family reaction.
The young suspects are all under 18 years old and were taken into custody yesterday. Family tells us it's a relief, but it won't bring Sharon Staples back. A march to end violence near 37th and Lisbon, and to remember the mother of 7 who became a victim. Robbers shot 34-year-old Sharon Staples when she refused to give up her purse early Sunday. She was 4 months pregnant. Staples' 13-year-old son was there.
Sharon's dead. She's gone. And her children, her 13-year-old son, may never get over this situation.
She was a very, very sweet person. She'd have never hurt nobody, she didn't harm nobody. Y'all can ask her for anything, she'll give it to you.
Milwaukee police announced the arrest of 3 suspects Friday. 2 have been charged, 15-year-old Malik Merchant and the alleged shooter, 16-year-old Michael Thomas.
The suspects are all males between the ages of 15 and 17. Some of them have a history of gun arrests.
Both charged have a lengthy juvenile history. The accused gunman was on probation for second-degree reckless homicide.
The arrests today, I think, conclusively prove that the juvenile justice system in the state of Wisconsin is irretrievably broken.
Police give credit to tips from the community, some about the location of this teal van, believed to be the getaway vehicle.
They caught them less than like 3 or 4 days. They did a good job. They did a great job, and I appreciate that.
Today's march was held by the group 100 Black Men. I also sat down with Staples' father. He's relieved that these young men are off the streets, and he hopes the court tries them as adults. Visitation for Staples is Wednesday at noon at Mason Temple on North 35th Street. The funeral will follow at 1. Live in the newsroom, Jenna Sachs, Fox 6 News.
Jenna, in the charges, is there a specific individual charge for the killing of that unborn child?
There is actually. The 2 men who have been charged so far are being charged with Staples' death as well as her unborn child.
Jenna Sachs, thank you.
A guilty verdict for the man who shot and killed a teenage burglar at a scrapyard. David Helton was charged with first-degree reckless homicide. A jury found him guilty of a lesser charge, second-degree reckless homicide. That shooting happened at H&R Scrap near 91st and Fond du Lac. Helton lived on the lot. He told police he took a shotgun to investigate the burglary and accidentally fired the gun. 16-year-old Shelton Smith was killed. The mob attacks at the State Fair and in River West are making headlines beyond Milwaukee.
And some are wondering if they'll scare tourists away. Fox 6's Myra Sanchek talked to one business owner who fears the city's image may suffer.
I mean, if it continues to happen, it'll affect Milwaukee in general. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Omar Sheikh owns several restaurants in downtown Milwaukee in the 3rd Ward, such as Carnivore, Charo, Ryan Braun's Graffito, and Umami Moto. He also sits on numerous boards, including the Department of Tourism and Visit Milwaukee agencies. Recent incidents of violence, some getting national attention, concern him.
And if they continue to happen, well, then it's gonna be a problem. You know, ever since Chief Flynn came into office, what a lot of people don't know is crime has gone down significantly over the past few years. So Milwaukee is a safe place.
So far, Sheikh says business is not affected, but teen mob violence has to stop now, or it will be.
There's never been an incident where we've ever had to call the police.
Getting tough on teen criminals is one idea Sheikh advocates.
I think we need to come together as a community, put our heads together to figure out how we prevent this, you know. But I believe in the police here in Milwaukee. I believe in this community, and I think we need to hold these kids accountable, though. And if they have the ability to hurt people, innocent people, that is, they should be tried as adults, and they should be put in jail.
Whether it's in West Allis, River West, or elsewhere in the Milwaukee area, Sheikh says the entire community can suffer if it can't come together to find an answer.
It needs to stop. Yeah, absolutely.
Milwaukee is not the only city affected by recent mob violence. Business and tourism leaders point to Chicago and Philadelphia as also facing similar problems. Reporting in the newsroom, Myra Sanchek, Fox 6 News.
A new development tonight in the alleged scuffle on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Justice David Prosser, seen here trying to dodge our Mike Lowe, is accused of choking fellow Justice Ann Walsh Bradley. The Wisconsin State Journal is reporting that the Dane County Sheriff's Office has turned over the results of its investigation to the Wisconsin Judicial Commission. But according to the paper, neither agency will release any information until the special prosecutor in the case decides whether or not to file charges.
We turn now to weather, where overall the temps have taken a turn for the better overall. Justin Zolich has a look at your forecast. Hey there, Justin.
Hey, Jeremy. Yeah, the temperature is outstanding. The dew points climbed up from time to time today, and the dew points may be climbing up with the showers and thunderstorms that we have falling across parts of the area right now. Here's the radar and satellite over the last 6 hours, and for the most part, do we have to wait until late in the day? I guess we'll have to find out. But overall, a rainy day followed by a mostly dry day for your weekend. I'll have more details coming up.
Justin, thank you. And speaking of getting warm, the Brewers have been bringing the heat for the last couple of weeks. Fans are starting to take notice.
The team has won 13 of their last 15. They returned to Miller Park tonight with a 4-game lead in the division. Fox 6's Asia George was out at the park. She's here now with this.
That's right, guys. The Brewers are on top of their game, first in the Central Division, something we haven't seen in quite some time. This, of course, riling up fans hoping for a home run into the World Series.
Go Brewers!
Enjoy the game. Thank you. Something's brewing at Miller Park.
It's just fun to get out here and tailgate, just have some fun.
Since winning 2 out of 3 in St. Louis, the Brewers are smoking hot.
4 games ahead of the Cardinals.
Get them while it's hot. Brewers doing first place.
Going to the World Series.
World Series?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
I'm positive.
Die-hard fans lined up hours before tonight's game against Pittsburgh.
Open!
Some drove 6 hours out of their way to watch tonight's game.
It's always great to come to Miller Park, but there's always something special when they're winning, and you know, our boys really are following them now and know the names of the players, so that's a lot of fun.
Third baseman Casey McGee took time to thank fans before the game.
How are you doing today?
And all things Brewers flew off the shelves.
$73.92 today.
The folks we talked to say they're not fair weather fans by any means.
Let's go Brewers!
It's just that it's always more fun when you're winning.
You're fired up, everybody's fired up. This is a sellout game. Why is it?
Go Brewers!
Because they're on top.
They're on a roll. They're going to go all the way, of course.
All the way?
All the way. We're going to the World Series.
That's some faith right there.
You bet.
I love it. And on top they are, we're told, on Saturday and Sunday. The games are sellouts, and the next 6 games, of course, are right here at home. So advantage here.
That. Yeah, I know, and I agree with the person. They're not fair weather fans. No. It's just more fun when you win.
Exactly.
You're going to sell out.
Exactly.
Thank you, Asia. Thanks so much for that. Well, for a time today, the White House turned shades of green and gold. Our world champion Green Bay Packers visited the president.
They left him with his own jersey, and as Ted Perry reports, the commander-in-chief left the team with some lifelong impressions.
Any motorcade near the White House has tourists thinking they've encountered Washington royalty, and Packers fans visiting Friday actually had. The world champions arrived in dramatic style to the amusement of Wisconsinites and the confusion of international visitors. Did you have any idea what was happening here today?
No, we didn't. We were actually trying to find the White House and stumbled upon the Green Bay Packers.
Inside, a tour and a ceremony with the commander-in-chief, whose favorite team, the Bears, were the last hurdle the Packers crossed to make it to the Super Bowl.
This hurts a little bit. This is a hard thing for a Bears fan to do.
Charles Woodson seems as comfortable on the south lawn as he does protecting Lambeau's south end zone, bantering with, even toying with President Obama.
He gives some good jokes, and you got to give them back. So I felt like I represented our team, you know, with our jokes very well, and it was a fun day for us all.
You know, I actually had an opportunity to speak to him after the game, and that was his lead-in statement. This is a very hard phone call for a Bears fan to make, so it's he's dealing with it rather well.
I'm not going to trash talk the most powerful man in the world.
Great. Now, having seen all this, how badly do you want to get on a plane and go to Green Bay, Wisconsin?
Really badly.
The president was given a Packers jersey and a piece of Packers stock.
A lifelong Bears fan. The only hope we had of winning him over to the Packers was to give him an equity position.
I'm not sure this one's going to make a wall or even a first storage unit. It might be in one of the backup storage units.
Wherever he decides to hang that new stock certificate, it does guarantee the president admission to the shareholders meeting next summer. Mark Murphy made sure Mr. Obama knew that he was invited. Whether he comes to that or not, it doesn't matter, according to Charles Woodson, who vows the team will be back here again next year. Outside the White House in Washington, D.C., Ted Perry, Fox 6 News.
Tonight's rain or the weather is apparently pushing back work on the Mitchell interchange. We were expecting a big closure on 94 South tonight, but the DOT tells us it's been postponed until tomorrow night. The Howard Avenue southbound on-ramp to the freeway will close. This is a long-term closure. The ramp is expected to be closed until next summer, but we should tell you too, the new 27th Street westbound on-ramp to 894 will reopen. Maybe you could use that instead. Lots of people will be soon on the move.
Fall is a very popular time for moving. The 3 things every renter should know before you sign that lease.
Wisconsin's new voter ID law is controversial. This local man that you're about to meet doesn't like it, but he says he got quite a surprise, a pleasant surprise, when he went to get an ID.
Whether you're heading off to college or you're living life in your own apartment, renters always have rights.
And Contact 6 has 3 simple tips that all renters should know about.
Get out the moving box for those college students that are headed off to a new fall semester, or for people who just want to move before the snow flies. It's time to review the landlord-tenant rights issues. It's a complaint that Contact 6 doesn't take, but when we do hear from renters, #1 complaint is they want their security deposit back. Often the two sides argue about how much should be returned and when, and many tenants don't realize there are 3 simple rules to follow to make sure you save time and money. First, a landlord can only deduct money from security deposits for unpaid rent or property damage, like stained carpets, damaged walls, or cracked windows. Landlords cannot refuse deposit money based on normal wear and tear, like routine cleaning and painting. And make sure you get any deductions itemized in writing. Secondly, you need to get that itemized list within 21 days of the end of the lease. Otherwise, the security deposit must be by law returned in full. If you move out before the end of the lease agreement, you must notify the landlord in writing to enact the 21-day rule and get your deposit. Finally, when moving into your new apartment, you have 7 days to inspect the apartment and complete a check-in form at the start of the new lease. It's a good idea to document and take pictures of any existing damage before you sign a rental agreement so you don't get charged for it later. So if you follow all these tips and you still have a problem with your landlord, you can file a complaint with the Better Business Bureau. We have a link to their site on our website, fox6now.com. I'm Katrina Cravey, Contact 6.
Wisconsin's new photo ID law doesn't officially take effect until next year's presidential primary, but some people are getting ready now. Alan Newsom says he votes in every election, but he's never had a driver's license. He has MS and uses a wheelchair. He was worried about the cost of getting an ID, but he was pleasantly surprised at the DMV last week. He was told it was free for people who needed it to vote.
And if I can do it, and I'm in a wheelchair and disabled, and I rolled down here to get an ID, people that are able-bodied and walking have no excuse not to get an ID.
The DMV says you just have to fill out the box saying you need the photo ID for voting, and then it is free. For information about what documents you need to have with you, go to our website, fox6now.com.
Firefighters collecting cash today for a good cause. Hales Corners first responders took part in the annual Fill the Boot campaign. All donations will benefit local Muscular Dystrophy Association clients. The money will help kids and young adults in activities like attending an MDA summer camp, clinic visits at local hospitals, and wheelchair purchases and repairs. Well, not many needing boots for most of today. The weather better suited for things such as sandals.
Loving it. Justin Zolich, insensible footwear, we should add.
Gotta stay comfortable. You know, it's a long walk from the weather office.
Yeah, you do.
Yes.
What's up this weekend? We all want to know.
Well, I gotta avoid the weather deck tonight because we have this out there. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, and some of these storms packing a pretty good punch, but that is more the exception than the rule. I don't think we're really looking at the threat of severe weather tonight. Nonetheless, still a couple of stronger storms into southern Sheboygan Sheboygan County and far northern Ozaki County in the Oostburg and Belgium area. And of course, you can still see a few flashes of lightning being detected. Scattered thunder showers off to the west as well. Not much through Waukesha and Milwaukee County throughout the evening. Very little rain around here, as a matter of fact. Got to go into Walworth County again, kind of in the East Troy area. You got one more thunder shower that popped up. Some of our viewers sending in some pretty impressive photos. This sent from Johnson's Creek. Michael sending it in at about 7:10 is when he snapped this picture of some of the low-hanging thunderstorm clouds coming in. Some of the clouds looking ominous, some just kind of picturesque, like this picture sent to us from Julie in Slingers. So thank you again for submitting those photos. We certainly do appreciate you letting them share. Let's check out your smart weather net. Some pretty impressive rain totals, as a matter of fact, starting to show up now. Check this out, Grafton ×2, up around an inch or so, and it's good to see two of these kind of verifying the same rainfall amounts there. Can't leave out Random Lake at about 84 hundredths of an inch. But check this out, Port Washington, 2.35 inches so far. And keep in mind, we still have some rain coming through northern Ozaki County as well. Jackson, about 1.75 inches. West Bend, about 1.2 inches as well. So some pretty good soaking rains in a few limited locations. Like I said, Milwaukee, we're still waiting for any raindrops around here. Currently in Milwaukee, 75 degrees. The dew point's starting to come up for us just a little bit. I know some of you are looking at that and saying, no dew point, stay down. They are going to climb through the weekend. And we'll feel some humidity, but it will not feel impressive outside. And again, those temperatures looking outstanding for us. So radar and satellite, last 6 hours. We still have a lot of clouds with us, but there are some breaks off to the west, and that is important. I'll show you why in just a second. Most of the thunderstorms are now out over the lake, so things should wind down between now and 12 or 1 a.m., and then we're going to get a little bit of a lull in here. See, not much going on in western Wisconsin, but another line of storms approaching central Minnesota now. We actually have two disturbances, the weaker of which is over us right now. That's giving us the showers and storms. There's kind of a secondary disturbance behind it, and this one is stronger, moves over us on Saturday, and will give us a second round of showers and storms, maybe even lasting into Saturday night or Sunday morning. All right, if we see a few breaks in those clouds very late tonight into tomorrow morning, the PERSEID meteor shower peaking this weekend. Look northeast early in the morning, but those meteors, of course, shooting across the sky, so you don't have to just look northeast. If you really want to see these get away from city lights, you can see up to 60 meteors per hour. However, we have a couple of problems. Full moon, of course, this weekend, and it might be too cloudy tomorrow morning. So don't bank on it, but if we have clear skies and you're up very late tonight, or if you're up early tomorrow morning, again, you might be able to see some of those. 81 and 60, the official high and low in Milwaukee today. The average is 79 and 64. The record's 94 and 48. Let's go to SKYVISION Plus and take a look at those rain chances as we go through the weekend. Again, by about 1 a.m., most of the rain is off to the east. We're going to see things gradually wind down for us. Now, as we head into Saturday morning, of course, can't rule out a scattered or isolated shower or storm popping up, but I think as that secondary disturbance moves over Saturday afternoon, that'll be the better chance to see those showers and thunderstorms popping up. Again, the threat of severe weather does look low. Can't rule out with these summertime storms, but of course, like I said, most of us don't have to worry about that, I don't think. Sunday morning, we might see another rain shower or two right along the lake shore. Otherwise, things drying off for your Sunday afternoon and evening. 65 overnight, scattered showers, a few isolated storms. Be back up to 75 tomorrow, 77 on Sunday. Those temperatures nice and comfortable in the days ahead, but the dew points at times will feel just a little bit sticky. Look at another rain chance Tuesday night into Wednesday. That's it for weather. Let's go back to the news desk.
Justin, thank you very much.
Kind of a playoff atmosphere at Miller Park tonight.
Yeah, when you get the sellouts and you get a team in the division and the Brewers are playing well, there's nothing better, and that's exactly what it was tonight as the Brewers were looking to stay hot, and their bats did not disappoint. Highlights from Miller Park are coming up next in sports.